establishment of an act to create a national commission for Almajiri education and out-of-school children to provide for a multimodal system of education to tackle the menace of illiteracy, develop skills acquisition, and entrepreneurship programs, prevent youth poverty, delinquency, and destitution in Nigeria and for related matters. As a civil society, we have looked at these issues critically, and we think that as a nation, the idea of duplicating agencies of government to seemingly pursue and perform the same functions repeatedly is counterproductive. We also think that at the eve of this administration, there was the proposal to effectively and successfully implement the Orosonya report. The Orosonya report was targeted at streamlining government agencies to minimize costs and increase efficiency. But along the line, this government has not been able to effectively carry out the Orosonya report's implementation. That is, they've not been able to work properly on the Orosonya report. If that has not been done, there will be no need for us as a country to continue to duplicate agencies to perform almost the same function, because it is not adding value. As far as anything is not adding to, it is subtracting. If we're not adding values, we're subtracting either our capacity or our value to effectively carry out assignment. We are very, very confident that the universal basic education, by the law establishing it, by the policy guideline, has the capacity to cater for young persons within the supposed age to get adequate education. If you are a nomad, or you have a parent who are nomad, there's another agency of government that seeks to take care of that categories of young people. And if you were by privilege of exclusion or by privilege of your parents not being so economically advantaged, you did not have a childhood education at the right time, there is another agency of government by name, the National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education. These are agencies that have the capacity in terms of the framework that established them. What we should be focusing at this level is to help develop capacity, retrain and retrain the manpower within these agencies so as to get the required results. Secondly, we must improve our funding for education. The United Nations has a benchmark for a developing country. The National Assembly should focus on encouraging the executive to bring bills that reflects that percentage benchmark. In a situation where the executive is not committed enough to the development of education to bring in that benchmark on the budget, the National Assembly should use her powers that allows it to add or subtract to the budget to improve the educational budget of our country. And by so doing, these already existing agencies will have sufficient funds, will have sufficient financial capacity to go about delivering on the mandate for which they were established. I give you an example. There were 157 model Almajiri schools built some years ago in this same country. And the schools were built by the already existing agency. I personally believe, and we believe as a civil society, that what government is to do, specifically the National Assembly, what they should do now is to see how best to put in more resources into this agency, and then adequate budgeting and proper monitoring through oversight to making sure that the monies appropriated gets to the institutions that they are expected to. We have discussed backward and forward at the civil society level. We strongly believe that at this time, we do not need to duplicate agencies for ourselves.
Is that in 2014, the UBEC in Gombe, Adamawa, Sokoto, and Borno built Almajiri schools, and they use it, the Northerners use it against the then administration, in particular against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, that they are calling them Almajiri. Why? Our position is that if President Muhammadu Buhari believed in it, he would have done it in the past 7 years. So not that when he is going, he is now coming up with an agenda on same issue that they have already criticized. I think APC in particular criticized the Almajiri education under President Goodluck Jonathan. Why are they coming up with the same thing? Why are they coming up with duplication of institutions? So that was why at the level of civil society, we discuss and we are coming up with same position.
Agencies to address same issues instead of enhancing the capacity of the existing ones is counterproductive and continuously leave the work undone. With specific reference to the proposed bill by the House of Representatives for an act to establish National Commission for Almajiri Education and Out-of-School Children to provide for a multi-model system of education to tackle the menace of illiteracy, develop skills acquisition and entrepreneurship programs, prevent youth poverty, delinquency, and destitution in Nigeria, and for related matters. It is our firm belief that the agencies like Universal Basic Education, National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education are sufficiently covered by law to perform all the functions intended to address in the proposed bill. It is therefore pertinent to note that the National Assembly should be more concerned in seeing that these agencies get improved funding, effective leadership to deliver on their mandates through capacity building, genuine budget implementation, and very importantly, monitor through oversight. We therefore call on the leadership of the House of Representatives and other stakeholders in the process of lawmaking to reject the bill because it will be counterproductive in truly finding genuine solutions to the subject matter mentioned therein in the bill. For there are already existing agencies that by law are to take care of the subject matter. We equally call on the leadership of the National Assembly to be more pragmatic in urgently increasing funding for the aforementioned agency so that we can address the Almajiri issues in Nigeria squarely as we seek to build a better and stronger nation, leaving no one behind.